Hi my friends, how you doing? So thank you so much for your participation. So this is the part 2 on how these 2 or 4 days will be for cleaning up and closing down for all these places we have in most of the cities, right? There are businesses, there are public sites, right? Because some are private, some are public. Okay, so this is the part 2, the video 2, and includes all those items I already said. Number 1, Department of Health. Number 2, Security. Number 3, Adoption Center. Number 4, Transportation. Number 5, Gyms. Number 6, Educational Sites. Number 7 is for all businesses. Number 8 is for offices and large offices such as banks, financial centers, health insurance, and all these things, stock market. Number 9, educational sites. Again, I repeat, but I already said. Number 10, government sites. All right, so this is the video 2, and we are continuing with the item number 7. All right, thank you. Talk to you soon. They are not going to be on this proper order, okay? They will be in alphabetical order. All right, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few updates for our 2 days renovation program. Didn't make the title stronger, but anyways, all right. So all these places here are the places that will close, right, in 2 days. A very few ones will have a few more days, right? So a total of 4 days for all these places. Okay, so it's 48 hours for most of them. All right, so here on the side, I place the titles. You see here, 1 for all health sites, 2 for all sites related to security, all sites related to adoption, number 4, zoo, transportation, number 5, all related to gyms, workout and dances, number 6, all the ones related for education, educational side. All right, so I have this. So I'm going just to say a few words. So at all those places, and also the other ones, so let me continue here so you can see. The number 7 here, the number 7 is all stores, supermarkets, pharmacies, malls, shops. Number 8, it's for all offices of all types. Banks, finances, stock markets, also office related to law and all these items here, okay? Number 9, oh, I repeat, educational sites we don't need anymore. Number 10 will be government sites. All right, so I'm just going to give a few updates and then we go back to the number 7 to complete the items. Okay, so those are the items that everyone will be cleaning up. Okay, we'll keep, sorry, good furniture, kitchen items without cords, food for new residents. The computers and printers will stay on site, even for pharmacies, because I say to take out, but just leave them there because all of them will be checked anyways and sent to the right location or stay at the same location. Office items, clean, of course, will stay, such as cabinets, the computers I just said, shredders, and printers, and white paper. Okay, and then here we have all items we have to clean up. Used office, plastic decoration, also the machines, electric items with cords, except for the refrigerator, of course, as I said, the freezer, if it's a site, business site, and gonna take out all alcoholic drinks and everything else, okay? All right, so basically is that. And here I made a few notes for reports. I'm gonna explain afterwards how we are going to make the reports, and here how the proposal for all these locations we are closing down will be made. All right, so here's from the page 1. Now let's say a few things about page 2. All right, so everyone gonna be home for 4 weeks total, right? But these 2 or 4 days are the cleanup weeks, days. And here we have the weeks that will be working weeks, all right? So everyone cannot go anywhere. They have to stay at home those days. It's very important, stay there. Children, teens at all times. All right. So from orphanages, from foster homes, can only go with a single woman. They cannot go with a single man. All right? So let's make this a rule for all countries. Or a couple, right, man and woman, or only woman. All right. Also, for parents that are divorced, the children have to go with their mothers. So we make like a rule. I think that will be the best for all the mothers that want to get divorced or already divorced. Okay? All right. And here I have a notice. I tell you after, Griffin. So here we have a notice that they will already be placing at the kitchen wall the one knife for sure, okay, because that's for safety purpose. One small knife, all right? I mean very small, like 15 centimeters for the metal part, okay? Needs to be a complete metal with a hole on a bottom at the end. So it will have proper steel cable connected to the wall, all right? And I will tell you after what's the other items. Okay, so all the electric items will be closed. And here was just a few notes for the medicine people can keep will be already placed on clinics, even for dental clinics, such as painkillers and antibiotics, and I don't believe anyone at the dentist will need anything else, because I was not clear about that. So this I already said here, it's continuation from the previous page, right? And here, it's also up to 2 days for all ports to be receiving their ships. It's mandatory to clear them up, take all the containers out, right? All the trailers, all the containers and big boxes. Clean up everything. Take everything out, whichever they are, items or food, okay? And bring to a safe location that can be away from the port to make sure people are not going to be in and out. After the 4 weeks, they will be sent to proper recycle areas that will be back on port or not. Then the headquarters assistant team's gonna be telling about those items, location where the ships will go for recycling. All right, so for all the other small boats will be the same rule as the urban buses, trains, subways, and so on. It's 4 days, okay? So it's 4 days for this, 4 days for that. You see here, subways and airports, 4 days, all right? Okay, so, oh, here's the other thing. I forgot to say, the number 11, I forgot to mark it. Oh, sorry, here, let me show you. So number 11, let me put blue because I don't have the red pencil here with me, and we have to keep going. All right, so the number 11 are big places, theaters, stadiums, gymnasiums, and churches. All right, the churches already said how, but now with this time is for everyone, 2 days. All churches need to be cleaned 2 days, don't need 4. All these places here are very easy to clean up, 2 days maximum, 48 hours. No extra hours will be needed, because mostly it's just some paperwork, right? And some materials they use, and the churches, you know, might have a lot of things, but they also have a lot of people already living close by. All right, so let's go here. This is I put here continuation of page number 2, just for a few items. So it's mandatory for people that have to travel to accept and don't complain and don't be afraid and all these things. So it's also forbidden to kill self, and if do not want to cooperate, we'll have 4 days of fasting, right? On the jail, because everyone needs to cooperate. It's very important. Because that's the only way we are going to have, a bad humanity. So people need to cooperate. If they don't want to cooperate, they are going to jail and fast. They can have water. All right? Okay. So for the jail, the first thing, this is people that do not want to cooperate. Okay? People from juveniles will already be going home right away. Up to 21 years old, they just go home right away. All right, here let's say a few words about jail. Because all those items already passed. Jail is number 2, right, for the security. So I put here continuation of the number 2. So the first thing is to give bracelet to everyone before they leave, if they're 22 years old or older. So we have 2 groups. The first group are people that did not have a good family, did not have a good neighborhood. They were involved, they were in a situation of a lot of violence or a lot of negative practices. So these people, they're not really dangerous, all right? They just, even that they kill someone, but if they have very negative background, or if they just stole something, didn't hurt anyone, right? They're not really the dangerous people, they can go home. As soon as they have their bracelets and have a place to go, they will already go home with their family or start a new family or move to locations that accept singles at that time so they can start their new life. All right. They will leave the jail with someone if they already know someone from there, because that's what they're going to meet anyways. They will have, everyone will have people according to their past practices, right? Partners, couples, okay? And the organization do the best as possible to have people in the same condition, because everything that they will be working afterwards, they will be working together. For example, physical problems, mental problems, emotional problems, obesity, right? And mostly, of course, if they were in jail before. All right, this group here is different. This group is the dangerous one. They're not going home right away, because these people here can go home in 48 hours up to 4 days. They are going home. Everyone. Contact family, contact friends, and they go home one way or another. Or they get married with someone right there, right? They choose someone right there and go home with someone and start a new life. Don't have to go back home. Or if their spouse do not want them back, okay? So they go home 48 hours up to 4 days, and then they will be closed at every other place. This is different. They are going to stay there those 2 or 4 weeks and then only go home afterwards. What they need? They need more training. They need things to really touch their hearts for what they did. We need to have a commitment that they agree to cooperate. Oh, sorry, forgot. The group 1 also needs this agreement. They have to watch the basic videos with information before they go home. So they know the basics, right? And have an agreement. They can only go home if they make an agreement. Otherwise, they're going to stay here in this group 2. Or they're going to go to this group of fasting. Yeah, that's the right way. If they having the opportunity to renew, if they don't want to agree, they go here to the fasting, right? 4 days fasting up to 8 days fasting. That's it, right here, without food, only water, because that's the only way. And then they're going to have AC or heater, yes, but no food, because that's the only way. All right, these people, they're going to stay 2 weeks. the most as possible go home, or 4 weeks for the real bad ones, or for the ones who couldn't get the family there yet, or for the ones that are going to start a new life themselves, or the ones that are waiting for a proper airplane to bring them to the proper country. They are going, all of these people here from this group too, they're going to semi-arid and desert lands, because and counties that are not well populated, that's very few people live there, so it will be easier to monitor them. Okay, all right, and everyone only go home with bracelets. All right, so let's keep going. So here I have I didn't put the number here because it's just a very quick note here. Pickup trucks will be doing their own route as scheduled by the organization headquarters assistant teams, and trash and recycle gonna be doing their own routes over and over, morning and afternoon during these 4 days without stopping. They just all stop for lunch, right? So people leave at noon, the new team comes at 1. So 7 to noon, 7 a.m. they're leaving their garage. They sing and they leave about 7:10 or so, right? And then in the afternoon they sing at 1 and they work from 1 to 6. All right, I didn't put here, but for all the drivers, they sing at their own location at 6 a.m. Just will take a few minutes, right? They sing up to 5 minutes or so, or even 5 minutes before 6. I think that's more appropriate, so they can really start the route at 6 o'clock. All right, so for all here, it's the most important places that will have the first bracelets will be given to them, you know, in the same day, right away. Okay. Computer staff is the IT, right? Okay, so the people that knows, teach or learn martial arts, government leaders, computer people, right? IT people, police officers, military, army, and orphanage and foster home children teams. Why? So we won't lose them, right? We have to put that right away. Okay, so for some, and also people from the media, okay, influential media people such as TV owners, radio station owners, and staff. All right, those people we're gonna put right away for us to start monitoring them, so we are sure that they won't be doing anything bad against our work, because this is really important. Okay, the police officers are the public ones, right, the regular ones, and also private ones. So police, private securities, okay, because we are not having securities for famous people, for government leaders. They have to go home, so we're gonna monitor them right away. And the other team, it's the Jay already said, right, and everyone that will, you know, already was caught doing bad things, for drugs and everything else. And people that do not want to cooperate, that gonna go to that 4 days or 8 days of fasting, they also need the bracelet right away. If anyone is caught on the street that do not want to cooperate, that's where they're gonna go as well. All right, so no previous power of any type. So for everyone with previous or present power in any way of any type, any way of any type, okay? Oh, sorry. Any way of any type. because people that have power, oh, sometimes they do crazy things, so they need bracelets right away. They don't want to cooperate the same way. They go to fasting at the jail without food. All right, so people without legs and arms, I already said that. If they can move around, take care of themselves, have good mind, that's fine, they can continue. Everyone else, such as people with blind people, deaf is something else. Blind people can do the operation during their 4 or 8 weeks. And deaf people, they have to go to the renovation program because it's way too hard. We're not going to have all these materials and things for them. Extra learning items, extra signs and braille and codes and things. Painkiller already talk, chemotherapy, those are the things we are giving or not, already talk about that. So it's important for everywhere they will be receiving families to have washers, and in case of dries, the best as possible, but washers for sure, okay? All right, here was talking about the drivers, what they can have. Everyone up to high school, if they already have their certificate, if they're up to 19 years old, if they're up to 19 years old, the certificate is going to be canceled. They have to attend proper high school according to their age. And if they're 17 or 18, finish high school with or without a certificate, they have to go back according to their age. They can only go to university, if they already are 20 or 21, okay? Everyone else, if they didn't finish high school, this 20, 21 years old, they go to adult education to finish over there. And for everyone else, okay, they're going, and some people might go to university with not enough room at the adult education to be sustainable just for this first year, 2 years, right, where they catch up and get it done. All right, so here I was explaining about the division of people, right, because I said to divide, and here about the prayer team and the list of people. Everyone gonna bring a paper home. People from nursing homes, from hospice, everywhere, hospitals. They need to bring a release paper information with them. So they're released on this day, name of the place they came from, so the following doctor or city office knows where they're coming from, okay? All right, so let me see if I have something else. Okay, so these are the surgeries. All surgeries will be able to do, start with the major ones first and go to the smaller ones after. That's an improvement, okay? And medication from both types of pharmacies, allopathic and natural, gonna go to clinics and hospitals, okay? All right, so basically it's that. Here this same page, page 3, here was about also the proposal they have for regions of the same municipality, that same county, that people will be already making a plan. So the doctors, the nurses will already make a basic plan, and we work with the nearest university for the headquarters assistant teams to give an idea, proposal for the areas and where the buses will pick them up, just to go faster, because even the people can walk and take urban buses, but we're not doing that. We are going to pick them up. So I divided here, just some might be smaller, some might be bigger, because it's from Monday to Friday, right? And they open up, right? After these 4 weeks that we will be, everyone going to be home. So they will share those days, and they have to start with the big surgeries first, so people can heal and start working, right? Help with our volunteer work in the area. All jobs will be getting PSAP points, okay? Alright, so here I have, this is the page, as you see here, page number 4, because I'm doing like that, but I'm just going to explain to you. Alright, so the location open to new families. So everyone that families can come in, the front door going to be open, needs to have a paper like that. You can print, if you know how to do a table like this, or you can do by hand, a little more neat, of course, than what I'm doing. So those places can be hospice, can be nursing home, assisting living, and everything else. Okay, if they have bedrooms, hospitals, part of the hospital won't be used. Okay, so they need to have a paper like that, 4 different originals, staple all these little 4 packs, staple, and on this side, right, they need to be written horizontally like I did here in a regular printing paper. See here? Alright, regular printing paper. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna say total bedrooms, total bathrooms, and then how many bedrooms, because for the bathrooms people can share for now and they can move afterwards needed. It's just the main thing for those 4 weeks. So if the owners, the manager, the team believe that can be according to the number of bathrooms, they're gonna put how many people, right, an estimate. So they're gonna have here, after the complete address, they're gonna put here, estimate maximum of, put the number there, individuals, okay? Individuals. Why is that? So people will have an idea. All right. Every family that will be coming gonna fill out the information. So if the family arriving gonna need 1 bedroom, if it's just a couple, for example, 2, they're gonna write all the information. So I made an example here for a family that will be arriving need 4 bedrooms. So they're gonna put today's date. So these are your titles. You're already gonna leave ready. Not numbers, because some countries use the month before, some countries use the month afterwards. So they have to write the month. It's April or it's May, whichever it is they're writing. And then they put here the day, right? The day and the year. No number for the month, okay? No number for the month. Everybody that's arriving will help, already there, will help the new ones that will be coming to know the information. Alright, so let's say this couple is John and Mary. So they're gonna need John and Mary, and here they're gonna keep going. John and Mary. Alright? So here will be John's parents, for example. So that is not John and Mary anymore. Then will be, let's say, Peter and Nancy, okay? Because now they are together with their own married children and grandchildren, but they will live separately because they're independent, they're gonna be healthy. But right now they're together because they don't know yet where they're really gonna be. Right there, or be transferred to another place according to what the organization tells them. Okay, so let's say the first bedroom is for the couple. So here, number, don't know if you can see here, sorry, number of people. All right, on this place here, number of people, because I messed up the top. The number of people, so it's 2, just the couple. So here, for example, they already have 4 boys, owned or adopted, okay. So here they have, for example, 2 girls, all right, that are not staying the same. Maybe the bedroom is small. And here they have the grandparents. We're not saying parents of the parents. We just use the word grandparents, all right? Okay, so why those girls going to stay here? Because they are going to adopt 2 more girls, for example, or that's who they have themselves right now, so they can stay right there. If they have more family coming, and if bathroom is available, you know, they can move, right? They can move with their brothers and sisters if they are not adopted, or if they are real children. We cannot have teens sleeping together in the same bedroom. All right? Okay. So we are very organized. If we need, the older teens, the boys, for example, can sleep in the living room. So the maximum, the estimate maximum of individuals here will be according to the bathrooms and not according to the bedrooms. Because if they're brothers and sisters, they can sleep together for those 4 weeks, you know, as soon as they have a place to be. Okay? All right. So then you keep going here. You keep going with the other families that will be arriving, fill out everything the same, including for homeless, everyone that needs a place. Okay, so here, the other thing that's important, you are going to make a margin all around of 1 centimeter, all around. Why is that? You know, because if anyone comes, you're gonna send, this is a real document, right? You're gonna need a blue pen for people to sign up those forms. All right, so here I just wrote 2 things. The houses, the sites that are available for these people to enter, to live there those 4 weeks or even forever, they need to have a piece of sheet hung outside in a tree or somewhere. All right, so they can get, for example, 2 white pillowcases, you know, they stick upside down in a piece of wood and they won't fly anywhere. Or they can hang 2 long white sheets on trees, 2 front trees, or the front gate needs to be 2, one far away from another, at least 1 meter, and if it's possible 2 meters. So it will call attention for people walking on the street looking for a place to be. All right, so I already said that we need 4 originals of these packs. So if you have 2 or 4 different pages for the house, and maybe 10, 20, 40 if it's a big site, because some places are huge, right? Resorts, hotels, some places are really huge. So you're gonna have put the number of the bedrooms and keep going, and the estimate number of people. For places that are too big, you're gonna put by building. So building this, building that, you know, so people will know. All right, so here we go now to the page. So we already talked about number 3, number 4, so number 5. Okay, so let's say a few words about the page number 6 now. All right, so we're right here. Okay, so here is the basic calendar. I'm gonna post afterwards with all details. The conferences, you know, the weekend will be 1 week in the middle of the 2 conferences where people can use the boats and things like that. 2 or 4 days, right? From Thursday to Sunday, they're gonna work and be open. All right, we also have 4 days for here for refugee camps, slums, large, very large population, okay? And for trains, subways, buses, travel buses, and airports, those are going to be 4 days and not 2, okay? As I wrote there. All right, so we have the distribution center going to continue offering food, water, and to be distributing. Keep sending, don't keep. So maximum as possible, people will be keeping their items already at their own refrigerators, their own freezers, and so on. Okay? All right. So Those are the places that people can go to live, or for those 4 weeks only, or until the remodeling day comes, or forever. All right, those places are what? Hospice, nursing homes, homeless housing with bedroom, of course, veteran housing, assisted living, spas, retreat centers. I put this 2 times, sorry. Treatment clinics with bedrooms, and hotels, resorts, orphanages, foster housing, and huge housing. So if they have 6 bedrooms and above, can be more than 1 family. Up to 5, if it's one, for example, is very small, then it's okay, because 4 beds will be for the whole family, and then 1 can be the person's office or something. But if they have an extra garage is considered as a bedroom. All right? So, for example, very large houses can have 2 families, or even more if they have more bedrooms. Okay, so here are the items that the trucks, delivering trucks, will continue to give to them. So they will give white printing paper. 100 pages is plenty for 4 weeks, just for the most important planning. Records book, they can already give 2 to each residential community. Okay. One is for all the activities given, and 1 is for the meetings. No, sorry, just 1. 1 for everyone. Okay, so they're gonna list just 1. 1 records book for this purpose. Families can have theirs. So if they can already drop off the numbers that the families are asking, that's fine, but need to be sustainable for the whole county, the whole municipality to be sharing the same. So for example, they have a lot, they can give 4 or even 10 to each residential community, according to the number of residents, of course. If they don't have much, gonna be just 1 or 2, right? Instead of giving to the families, because we want families to start the records book right away, the way it's available on their own city, and after that they're going to be purchasing ours. The other thing that can drop off is at least 2 families need cell phone, 2 couples, okay, to be receiving information, updates, and pass to the other residents. The cameras installed in the ceiling, right, up to 48 hours in all houses and all apartments of all types, inside, outside, garden area, common areas, entrance, everywhere. This is really important. Everywhere cameras. Also in the streets with regular bulbs that have cameras in it, and so on. Water, you know, and food. Okay, the water and food will be delivered the best as possible for these 4 weeks, and families will be sharing. When they see that they will have, for example, a table placed in a shaded area somewhere, or in front of someone's house, if they really don't have other option, but other than that, they can use their clubhouses or the park table, okay? All right, they're gonna leave food there for people that want. If it's fruit, they offer only in the morning, let's say 8 o'clock, okay, 8 o'clock, because they cannot leave their own residential community. So if the park is inside that residential community, it's okay. Otherwise, they cannot place in other parks. All right, so people that need goes to that table 8 o'clock and share the fruits available. And all the food, you know, so after the first week, because everyone needs food for the first week. I'm almost done. So you have to do that, and then here you have all these items. These are the items we have to make sure we deliver and be installed. And water, clean water for everyone to drink. Okay? So So now I'm going to say a few words about the page 7. Okay, so here we are here on page number 7, and I have a few more things to complete here. So all hospitals send special machines to local clinics where it's sustainable to do that, because some hospitals are huge and some clinics can be easily share, those people that will be coming for any appointments. All right, CAT scan machines we're not going to have anymore because that's not needed, not sustainable. Everyone gonna be, if they need, they go to natural diagnostic from people that know how to do that. All right, in different ways, such as from the feet, from the pulse, from the iris, and from marks on their hands, marks on their faces, under their eye, or different ways, all natural diagnostic. So all sites that had sick people take out specific items out, such as some beds that won't be used and so on. For hospitals that have the very bad beds, they take out. For the regular beds, they leave. So people, if they need to sleep there, right? If the part of the hospital we are already free for families. Otherwise, they're just gonna recycle them all if it's not needed on their region for families to stay. Separate items will be sent to clinics and like small x-ray machines, because in the future that's where they will stay. Right now, people for those 4 days can continue as they are, and then all this place is going to be closed for 2 weeks, and then they're going to reopen again, right? The hospitals and the clinics. All right, so and this also is for city mayors, county mayors, state governors, and county presidents, and other leaders, other staff members. They also need to be contacted, and they will help the headquarters assistant teams where really needed. Okay, so let's say a few words about page number 8. So we're right here. Okay, so the university headquarters assistant teams will be all the ones I'm telling you, and for the ones I've told you before. All right, so here's just to complement the number 6, that educational side. So here all the items I said about schools, and here all the items I said about university. Okay? All right, and everyone need a cell phone. Okay, for the other items, so let's go here to page number 9. Okay, we are right here. All right, so for people that are afraid to swim, to take airplanes, to take ships or subways, they have to go, right? For children, elders, anyone, because there's nothing wrong with them. They just have to go where the organization is sending them. And if their family have chosen to go to a location, they are not staying behind. If they're elders after 60 years old, they have to go together where the main couple will be going, because they're not going to have elders by themselves unless they're really independent, and that's okay, they can stay. All right, but if they're not independent, not really healthy, they have to go with the main couple. And if they don't want to cooperate, the same thing will be as I said before. So everyone have to work. So we have options. The option number 1, everyone gonna choose a work and study, or if they already have the study, and up to 4 days. They have to choose in up to 4 days. This is very important, okay? And they will get peace points. The option number 2, the organization will let them know what they will do. That will start from the 5th day on. So if they didn't decide themselves, the organization will decide for them. They get less peace up points. Everything is based on peace up points, even for field trips at schools or from residential communities and so on. The number 3 is that they still don't want to help. If they still don't want to cooperate, then they will have these 4 days of fasting, right, at the jails, and they lose all their points. They don't get new points, and they even lose all their PSA points. Okay? So the people that are already in jail, those don't count. They will continue their food and water, everything that they are already receiving until their release, as I said before. So we have just 2 more. Number 4, they still do not want to cooperate. So they have, the first time they have 4 days. On the second time they have 8 days. So here's 8 days, okay? And then on the 9th day, they start going to electric chairs, because that's the only way we are going to have people really cooperating. All right, and then we are going to have all the ear speakers will be turned off. So all these messages we are giving can be sent to different people according to where they are, what they have, and after that all of them on these 48 hours will be turned off. They are not going to be 4 days, only 2 days, right? 48 hours, perfect. After that, everyone will already be working themselves. They will already be following instructions that will be written at the website and places like that. So here I have the page number 10. It's continuation of the number 7 for all producers and all stores of all types. Okay, so they have to clean up and close down. So they will be closed down. All right, so what happened is that I already said words about places that have objects, clothes, shoes, backpacks, supermarkets is a long one. And then we got the 2 pharmacies right here, pharmacies. And then I already talked about the specific clothes for sports. I already talked about sports items, sports appliances, places like moving, places that sell boxes. And I also talked about sex shops and video game shops. Okay? All right. So this is the page number 10, and now we are going to complete this video. So here's the last page for number 7, and here are the items that I'm still going to say a few words, and then we complete the number 7 and we will go to the number 8. Thank you for attention. Talk to you soon. Alright, so here for the public libraries will be the same way. All the books will be cleaned up, all the encyclopedias, old encyclopedias will be cleaned up, and places that have machines, places that have toys that are not positive, and the natural ones they can keep. So let's say a few words about nurseries and garden items. Will be the same way. So we have, they will be available, and trucks can be bringing them to residential communities as they order them. It's free, yes, but they have to order what they need. All right. For shops that have stores that have toys, balls, different items like that, if they are related to video games and media, and then they are going to send right away to recycle centers. If they are natural or approved, they can stay. All right, this I already said, right? Bikes, motorcycles, and here for the electronics, I already said everything that has a cord, okay? All of them will be sent out. For places that do not have and can have afterwards TVs for the residents, or for clinics to have screens, small ones, right? About a meter or so, right? For people to see the movies, for hotels, the main rooms. Hotel bedrooms are not going to have them, but for bedrooms, for main rooms, they can have TVs. So they will get them afterwards, but not on that time. And I will let you know if those TVs will stay there. Yeah, the TVs that are not huge or not too little, they stay there. But the radios and everything else can already be sent to the recycle places. All right, the bakeries will continue, until no more flour will be coming. So they can continue up to 4 weeks. I think that's really sustainable, okay, because in some places we have way too much wheat. So the wheat and all the other flours will be sent to the furthest away place first, the furthest states, and then help themselves afterwards, because close by they will still have the train, the trucks, right, from distribution center. But for now, so whichever they are harvesting, for the grains of all types, legumes and so on, roots, herbs, everything, they're gonna be, not the herbs, sorry, herbs will stay locally sourced as possible, but for the things that don't perish that easily will be sent furthest away first. All right, for the restaurant, they will be also closed for 4 weeks. So the food they have and can keep on freezers, that's okay. For everything else, they're gonna donate everything that's fresher. So they can give to, put available right there for those 2 days. So they have 24 hours, because that's very easy. They do not need 4 days. Only, they don't even need the second day here, because let's put 2 days. Let's put 2 days because of the food that they can donate, okay? So they're gonna have 2 days as well. The after school programs such as YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, language schools, tutoring schools, so all these extra schools gonna close down. The word here is like after school and extra schools and language schools, they're gonna close down. Let's say they also have 2 days. No, 1 day. They don't have food, okay? So they have 1 day for staff members. For the students that are 20 years old and older, they have 20 minutes, okay? 20 minutes. For all the children and teens up to 19 years old, they will end the day. They come for the day and not for other days anymore. All right. If they have, if they have children and teens, they're gonna work for those 4 days, because they will be safe as their usual schedule. All right, they're gonna stay. It's all right, they can stay there. All right, so they're safe and their parents know their time. So up to 4 days, the regular schedule. Construction places gonna close down right away. They have to clean up every pesticides, things that won't be used anymore. They also have 2 days to clean up and close. And for clients, they have 20 minutes. They tell everyone and then it's done. All right? Okay. If they have garden items such as wooden boards, picnic tables, and all those things, then they can be open for 4 days and do all deliveries as usually they do, and people will order them online or in person. So 4 days for garden items. But for everything else, they're gonna be closed, and clients as well. Yeah, if they are like, if they have an open area, that's okay. They can be open for 4 days with people picking up themselves. For people that still have their family cars, It's okay if they're helping their community, so they can purchase wood, picnic tables, tools, seeds, plants, food plants, edibles. All right. So here we have actual 4 cameras for all small stores. Let's say 10 by 10 or so, it's considered small stores, 4 cameras. For everything that's medium stores will be considered like 20, right? 10 to 40 square meters. Okay, so they're gonna put 6 to 10 cameras, always on the entrance for sure. All right, if they have a back entrance, they have to lock it right away, right? Lock the back or side. They have to lock it. They cannot be open. All right, and the construction I already explained. All right, the furniture store, they're just gonna have 20 minutes to tell their clients and close down completely. Why is that? Because afterwards we are going to tell exactly where they will be sending, because some can be remodeled and used, some can take the thick padding out and put thin. So they're just gonna close down completely, and they will open after 4 weeks. Car dealers, the same way. They're just gonna close down, receive cars that are being brought back. They just close down, give 5 minutes notice because not many people stay there. All right, and the staff members and owners need to do their reports, and by the end of the day they cannot come back. So this one's gonna have 1 day. All right, because easily they can do their reports in up to 2 hours and done. Okay, all right. Everyone cannot stay more than 6 p.m. Okay, and everyone needs to do a report, with exception of video game stores, sex shops, and places that are really not positive. We don't need to keep any reports about those places. All right, places, stores with fabric, right, that sell linen, towels, rugs, tablecloth. So it will be the same way. If they are plaid fabric that we're not going to use, related to video games, related to bad movies and so on, they need to be sent right away to recycle centers or to the trash landfills. If they are good, they can stay. If they can be remodeled, they can stay as well. They close the door on the same day. So they have, let's put 24 hours, I think is reasonable. Because so they can send out, right, what's not good, do their reports, about 2 hours, get it done. 4 originals, everyone needs 4 originals for the same report with 4 packets, right, with all their signatures. All right, for hotels and resorts, they can keep the clients there, right? If they want to be there, that's fine. And they have, let's say, how are we gonna do that? I think 24 hours to tell everyone, okay? Because they don't have speakers, all right? So they will tell, and they can stay, right? Can stay or move out, or move. All right, it's optional for those people. For places, nature events, such as places that have natural areas, that they are able to have good programs for vacation days. They have good programs for, like they have some woods, and they have places for garden. They have places for example, for families to spend on a weekend, right, Saturday afternoon or Sunday. So they will be called nature events, right? It's a place where families can go. If they have boat rentals, can be here. They have like sites for hiking, for canoeing, okay? It needs to be related to nature, of course, all right? So all places like that, I think it's reasonable to do the same way as the educational sites. If they already exist with children and teens, right, they are working for these 4 days because the parents know they're safe and they will continue the same schedule as was already doing. All right, if they don't have children, teens on site or for those 4 days, for example, some of them only open on summer camps, for example, only open on summer. So they just tell 20 minutes, right? Tell the staff, the staff that are not so important go home, and the main staff gonna do the reports. In about 2 hours, they close everything, they go home. If they have adults on site, they can adults the same way. Adults go home. If they're 20 years old or older, they have 20 minutes and they go home. Okay, here. All right, so those are the videos I'm editing. And oh, now service company. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. So for plumbing, for electricity, for everything else, construction and building, for air conditioning and everything. So all these people can work. Let me think. Okay, so we are here now, right, for services. So I'm going to say a few, and for everything else, people just gonna figure out. So for plumbing is the 4 days, and of that 4 days, all of them is up to 6 p.m. Everything that I say 4 days up to 6 p.m. because parents need to get their children, teens up to 6 p.m. and all the adults need already to start working on this program and go home. All right, so for electricians also 4 days. Okay, for construction they can do new construction 2 days because not needed. All right, the whole team gonna help after. For remodeling the 4 days because people will already have what they asked previously to be remodeled. For air conditioning, it's a very important item, so it is the 4 days. People work, to fix those air or clean ducts and things like that. For dry cleaning, it is, I think, up to 2 hours just for their reports, right? And 20 minutes for clients. They can put a paper at the wall. Okay, so here I wrote all negative places, all right, such as producers and stores. Producers first. So let's talk about producers. For tobacco, nicotine, alcoholic drinks, vaping, opioids, marijuana, all these producers, they have 20 minutes to tell all their stuff and go home, and no reports will be made. Okay, because a big report will be made for them at the with some other bad items we have, but they don't have to do their own. We're just going to do one general one for all countries or for each country. So 20 minutes is plenty, and they have to shut down. Even the owners, everything need to leave the place. They're not taking anything out, and they have to drop off the key at the indicated location by the person that volunteer, okay, an organization volunteer. All right, so here we have the stores that sells them, supermarkets, regular other places. All right, every country is a little different. Some are really tiny, some are really big. Okay, but for those people, If they are selling only those items, such as drinking, here in Florida they have whole stores beside pharmacies that sell alcoholic drinks, for example. They're just gonna be considered as producers. Close everything down in 20 minutes, everyone is out and done. Okay, so 4, play and bring the key to the indicated location. All right, so if they sell only bad things, if the place is mixed with other things such as supermarkets, so they have to take out everything right there. So how that gonna be? Can come a group of people, university students, to help them out and take everything out from the shelves for sale. Cigarettes, vaping, alcoholic drinks, everything they have, okay? So, and also the candies and gums. Candies and gums. The candies, the tiny ones, right? The round tiny ones. And gums, they take it out because no one's gonna be using them. For the big candies such as chocolate, and other ones that's more related to food, they can keep them. All right. So the group, university students, the group that will be coming, or whichever they have that news, or only their staff members, if that's how they got the information, they have to take everything out from the shelves. Let's put, I think is reasonable, 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes. Okay. Because for places that are very big, for example, like department stores such as Walmart, that they sell alcoholic drinks and cigarettes, okay? They also have a lot of staff members working there. They also have speakers. They are going to invite all their staff members to go to that aisle and clean up everything. Even small supermarkets, like in many countries, they're gonna have a fewer staff members, but they also gonna have less shelves of those bad items, so that's fine. Now let's say a few words here about cafes and pizzerias. So cafes, all of them gonna do the same. They give 20 minutes notice for their staff members, 2 hours for their reports, and they close down. Okay? And pizzerias, because cafe people can drink quick what they already purchased and they leave. All right? For pizzerias, they finish their meal on their first day, the same as the restaurants. They finish that meal the first day only. All right? And on a second day, only give the food away. All right? Only food away. All right. Pizzerias that have items that are frozen and also things they use, tomato paste in jars or in cans, big cans, right? If they can keep, say, for 4 weeks, they leave it right there. And afterwards will be said where they are going to be sent to. If they're perishable, they have to bring to close by supermarkets where the family is going to be picking up, or mostly to areas in need, okay, where people probably don't have much on their cabinets, don't have much food already. All right, so they're going to be bringing those items already to those supermarkets. And when they come back, they have to come back, the cafes, the pizzeria, all these places, like places for juices, breakfast places, right? All these small stores gonna come back with being something else. They are not coming back because we're not having those places anymore. Ice cream stores, candy stores, okay? So they're gonna be cleaning up, as I already indicated, And when they come back, they will be something else, adult education, or they will be, a preschool, a school, wherever is the most appropriate for the building that already exists in the area, and according to the headquarters assistant team. Okay? All right, my friends, so we're doing great. For ice cream stores, we can give the ice cream for people. They can freeze everything, keep, because it's fun and it's all right. For candies, the only candies, the real candies, the small ones or little bigger, but plain sugar, then they have to already send to the trash. Okay? But the ice cream can be given to people, so they will be okay, so let's do the ice cream stores can be open for 2 days. Ice cream 2 days, and the other 2 days they will be given to people because they're not going to offer ice cream afterwards. All right, so or making new ones. And stores for candies that are not plain sugar, but if they have chocolate or if they have wherever they're ready made, donuts is okay, bagels okay, all these other places they can use the food for those 2 days, and then at the end of the day they already have to give what's perishable out. All right, they're not going to have none of these places you're gonna have for days. All right, okay, so let's do for everyone the same. For the cafes, the pizzeria, let's do for everyone 2 days and close down by 6 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, my friends, we're doing great. Thank you so much. So here the number 7. Now we're going to the number 8. The number 8, it is the offices, banks, and financial locations, financial offices, and also for stocks and places like that. So for all these places, they have, let me think. Okay, so here we have the number 8 is for offices and big establishments, such as law office, banks, financial companies, insurance companies, accounting offices, etc. So for those, they have 2 hours for all staff members, okay? For the staff, yes, they have 20 minutes for clients and place a note at the door. We are closed for the peace program. Everyone gonna be placing a note at the front door. We are closed for the peace open. And for every place that will be open that families can come inside, will also be a note. We are open for the peace program. So everything instead of COVID gonna be about peace. All right. So they have 2 hours for all their staff members, right? And they have 2 more hours just for the owners, managers, for reports. Reports the same way, needs to have 4 regionals, all signed in blue pen. All right, the educational site was the number 9, but already talked about, so let's keep going. The number 10 are government sites. The government site is going to be the same way. So it's 20 minutes for all clients, in case because some places are open, right? And then they have 2 hours for the staff members, all staff members, and 2 hours for main important people, such as directors, such as managers, I don't know, of one area or rather, mostly they call directors, right? Superintendents, I don't know, each country use their own terms. But for the main people to do the reports, 4 copies of each report gets signature. At least, let's say for each office, right, needs to be maybe 4 people, right, for every small office, and for every department, then they need, let's say, 20 people to sign. for departments. Okay, so for departments, 20 people. For each office, 4 people. For each office, okay? All right, this way I think is plenty. They also need 4 originals for each. Everyone needs 4 originals. Always sign in blue pen. Okay, so basically is that. We have what's the most important, okay? And now let's go to the page that we talk about reports. So the reports, I'm going to give more details soon, but basically the first part is like that. They have the date of the first license, when the building was built, opening by whom, the owner, or because depends if it's a public site or a private site, right? And then they have private, they have to say what they were and what they are, because maybe they were private, now they're public, maybe they were public and now they're private. Okay, so they have to say something right here, okay, what they were and what they are. And then they're gonna say how many they served per year and also per month. And here up to the moment, along the years, an estimate for everything. And they have to say how many staff members they have, okay? Also an estimate for this year and previous years. Just an idea how many staff members. And then they have how many they served. Oh, sorry, how many they served is up here. If it's a hospital, clinic, all these places that are closing down, how many they serve, how many staff members, and any other detail, for example, for stores and what their business, right? Some details about their business. If they sold items, they will sell what they sold. If they only attend people, if they have a juice store beside or a coffee store, so coffee shop on a side, or gift, because some hospital they have gift stores, right? So they will all be placed here. All right, so now we are going to the number 2. All right, for this report. Yes, here on the top gonna be report 4, and then gonna say for this hospital or for this nursing home or for this store, they're gonna say what it is. All right, the titles are number 16 in Calibri, and the objective points that we used to say bullet points will be number 11, 10 or 11, okay, because they're small, but that's fine, 10 or 11. The main thing is just to have the information and people can read. Everything online will be deleted, so any information they need for the report they have to get soon, because we're not going to have anymore the World Wide Web. We are going to have the Peace World Wide Web. All right? Okay, thank you. I'm gonna tell you something I forgot. I'm gonna put here the complete address and the license number right here, license number, okay, and here on the second part, and here on the first part you can add anything else that was important. Oh yeah, I forgot, you also have to say the time and how notice was received. So this will be called as the peace notice. Everything we will use, we're gonna use the word peace. All right, so the peace notice was received, and by whom? Maybe it was by a government inspector, government person of the area, a neighbor, or someone that has a business like that one, because we're asking people to send to other business as well. The other thing that's mandatory for this cleanup before they close is 20 to contact, right? They have to contact 20 different sites, okay, of the same area. This is very important. They have to do it, okay? All right. And then here for the part 2, they also have to complete the best as possible, create a title according to what's most important for the records, what people would be interested to know on a future day. All right, and here the subtitles, right? So you have the subtitles and the objective points, subtitles and objective points. Okay, all right, line, of course, not like that, but straight. Okay, all right, so do the best we can. And here's the page 13, and we are going on. We have one more page. All right, so I just have a few more items. I changed the number of this page, so this will be page 13 for a few more things. So we have here the fresh food market. So if it's perishable, they sell what they can, and the rest they give away or bring home, right, for their own family, neighbors. So if it's non-perishable, they can also sell, give away, or bring home. All right, each family can decide, or you also give to their neighbors and so on. So for street festivals, all of them will be canceled for all these 4 weeks. All right, for all of them, because we cannot have them. People gonna need to be home. For the street, non-perishable food and craft, right? Can be in street or different locations. They have up to 5 minutes to start packing up and go home. All right? Because that's really plenty and enough. And in 5 minutes, the person can go drink water or go to the bathroom. No more than that. They start to pack up and they go home. The shows of all types, everywhere in theaters, street, beaches, everywhere, auditoriums, all gonna be canceled. All right, for these 4 weeks. All right, so here we have all mechanics, oil change, all of them. They have 5 minutes, because usually they're not huge. 5 minutes to tell their clients, and then and staff members, right? And then they have 2 hours, some special people such as the owners and the managers to do their reports and go home. So they're not opening any time after those 22 hours and 5 minutes here. It's not needed, not sustained. They're only gonna open after the 4 weeks. And the last comment is for places, if they really need, right, the companies will be reaching by speakers. If they don't have speakers, another way they can do is fire alarm. They put the fire alarm, everyone gonna get out to their designated location. They explain everything to them, and for all the staff members will be, as I already said. For all the places that I did not indicate here, oh yeah, we have also like butchers and fish companies, right? So for them, they can freeze what's possible, sell and give. So here, butchers and fish, they have 2 days. They can open only for 2 days, up to 6 p.m. 6 p.m. they have to close down. For places like shoemakers and people that fix items such as sewing, right, ladies, or shoemaker, people that fix shoes, and so they will have 20 minutes right? 5 minutes to tell, 5 minutes to tell their stuff, okay? And they have 2 hours to do their reports. They don't need anything else other than that. They're gonna close for those 4 weeks, come back afterwards. All right? Okay, so I think we're really good. And oh yes, and I forgot here for hunting and fishing, right? All these items, they also have I think 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes to tell their clients, because some are big but they don't have too many clients at the time. So 5 minutes to tell the clients and staff, okay? And then close the door, and for clients send the main staff home, and owners and managers gonna do their reports in 2 hours, okay? All right, so here it is. And then the page 14 is the site report that is here. And let's see if I can put something else on this video. Okay, so here we are here on the page 14 because I put a new number. All right, this page here. All right, so I'm just gonna say a few things. So it's mandatory also to leave trailer camps and camping tent sites with tents for proper housing. If it's wood or anything else, that's okay, but they cannot stay in camping, all right, with synthetic tents. Also, they cannot stay in trailer camps. They have to go to the place they want, nearest hotel or resort or hospice or nursing home, assisted living, all those places that can accept people in proper regular housing. Okay, so huge homes and everything else, all these places here. All right, so now for housing that are for sale or for rent, so that do not have the owners, they are not going to leave the door open for anyone to come in. All right, they are not going to be receiving any new family that, are not paying or anything like that. Why is that? Because we just have 4 days, right? And those homes are supposed to be clean, organized, neat. So it's better have people on this other location that many families are going to be together, and then send to their own homes only for the families that already got many points and already have the decision of the houses they can have. So all the houses and apartments gonna be placed by points. So for example, if an apartment costs 100, 200,000, all right, dollars or whichever it is. All right, so the person gonna be using those points for the location they want, because people with more points can get better locations if they want. All right, okay. So the other thing, they can only the families can only go after 4 weeks, because they will have time to register the city office, bring all documentation, and it's on a first come, first serve. All right. So for everything else that I said before, hotels, resorts, nursing homes, assisting living, all these other locations here, the families arrive, can stay there, but remember, have to remodel them, right? So as families gonna be already start going to places that for sale and for rent, they are going to have all the families squeezed to another side of the property, of their buildings. So they can remodel the other half or a fourth, according to what's needed and according to the proposal of the organization headquarters team. Okay? All right. So basically it's that. And after, gonna play some videos about the population that have to move and details like that. All right, so thank you so much. This is the renovation program, 2 or 4 days for all sites. Okay, thank you. Talk to you soon. So to complete, I'm just going to say again the titles because this is the video part 2. So these 2 videos include the items. Oh, clean up. The title here cannot show clearly, but oh, clean up for 2 or 4 days. So number 1, health. Number 2, security, such as juvenile, jail, so on. Number 3, it's for adoption centers and foster home. Number 4 is for transportation. Number 6 is for gyms and studios for dance and so on. Number 6, educational sites. And then we have number 7 is for all stores of all types. And so here's the 7th, right? The number 8, it's for all office and big establishments, for offices, banks, financial places. Number 9, I repeat, educational sites, but it's already said. And number 10 is government sites of all types, because some are huge, and they all have to close down. All right, my friends, so here it is, the 2 or 4 cleanup days for all sites of all types, businesses of all types. Thank you. Right. So I'm going to say the right word here is not report. I think is release, right? Release, chart, right? All right. So everyone that will be going home from everywhere, nursing home, hostels, orphanages, foster housing, and so on. So they have to have a release chart. Okay, so I think it's the peace, right? Because, or you can do, sorry, no peace, because peace, we're not going to work with them. So they're going home, right? So you just do whichever you're already doing, but you have to do the best as possible. For example, for videos they can watch, already give the number, because it's going to be 4 weeks, right? They might not see a doctor during that time, so they're well prepared. So if the person have ADD, ADHD, cholesterol, diabetes, back problems, physical problems, emotional problems, and so on, anything they have. So before you release them, because everyone's going to be right, so people will be sending home with proper information, the person's name, the address they're coming from, the title of the place, you know, the logo, if they have a little paper here. They can have 1 page for each person, all right, if they have some recommendations. Otherwise, a half page will be fine. Needs to fit properly and have signature of at least 2 important people, secretary and the owner, secretary and the manager, something like that. So we have their names, first and last, their signature complete in long complete signatures, and then they will have the day's date, right? Today, date, right? Okay, and the copy that they are keeping will have the signature of the family members that are coming to pick them up. The other copy the person will keep and need to bring to any place that will be asked for, schools and clinics where they have to fill up their paperwork at the city office and not at schools and clinics. All right? So they just need 2 copies. No, they need 4 copies. So 1 copy is for them, the person itself, right? The other one is for their family. The other one is for the owner of the establishment, all right? The owner, to keep while it's needed, all right? And the last one will be the one given to the city office. This one here kept by the owner if needed we're going to send to the state city office. Otherwise, if it's not needed, we'll let you know afterwards. But these ones for sure is the 4 for regionals for the local city office. Okay? All right. My friends, very important for everyone to have during these 4 days and during the 4 weeks and during these 28 weeks is very, very important. All right, so the last one is for TV stations here and for radio stations. So these two places will be the same. They have 10 minutes to tell their staff members and any client that came, for example, for interview, right? So 10 minutes will be plenty. And then they have everyone, most of the people be going home, and they have up to 2 hours to do their reports and close the doors. All right? Okay, so I guess basically it's that. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Okay, so we're here page 14. We just have a few more things to say. So for the barbers and haircut. Okay, so we are here on a page 14. So just a few more things I want to add. For barbers and haircut places, they're gonna close in, I think they just finished, the people that they're already cutting, right? Those maximum of 20 minutes and send people home. Okay, so if there's will be doing their huge long haircut, they cannot do that. They have to finish in 20 minutes, so their staff, their clients, and they're only gonna cut people that they already start. Everyone else send home and don't receive anyone else. Close the door, put a note at the door. So for stores for guns, rifles, 5 minutes to clients, close the door. And then 5 minutes more for the managers, owners to leave. And they have every place that is a bad place, a very negative place, need to drop off the key somewhere. Also for the sex star, video games, and marijuana, tobacco, vaping, things for stores that they have spells, they sell things for voodoo, you know, so here, voodoo and spells, right? Stores for those items. They also have to close right away, so they have 5 minutes to tell their staff and clients home. They send clients home is a term of saying, and 5 more minutes for them to leave, lock and drop off the key. Needs to be somewhere right close by, someone's good store, someone's positive store that are close by. Alright, so for stores with caps, hats and hoods, the same way. For hoods, they're gonna send it to the thrift store, right? They can do that, so they can be sewn by sewing couples. For caps and hats, it's okay, you can use them, and they can give on those up to, I think the same way is 5 minutes to tell the staff, and then 5 more minutes for owners or managers to leave. Okay, for gas station, so we're going to do, they can only open for distribution trucks, right? Distribution trucks will be filled out in the 2 or 4 gas stations in a whole county. So they all have to make sure they always fill them up before the end of the day, to make sure people get in the trucks in the morning, have a good truck to already start with, because they're gonna be far away. But I think that's sustainable, 2 or 4 for the whole county, depends if how populated they are. All the others are already closed. So these ones can stay for, I think, 4 days, right? The same way as the distribution, equal the same way as the distribution centers. 4 days, all right, to be sustainable. So here I have an improvement. Deodorant can be used if it's not from a can, a spray can. They can be used if they're regular plastic sprays, or other ways. Even roll-on, it's okay. All right, because many people are eating really bad right now. So until they don't smell bad, like people that eat red meat and so on, so let them use this because it's sustainable, we're not wasting them. All right, okay. So we got it all covered now. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Okay, my friends, we have a few improvements for what I just said. So the deodorant people can use up to 20 weeks, right? Because some people might, been eating very bad for a long time. So gonna take some time for them to detox and don't have any problems with that. Okay, after that, what's left over, they have to send for recycling. Okay, there are the improvements for skin. No one can keep any base, any cream or powder or anything of any type for makeup. The only exception is lipstick, if it's neutral, only if it's 2 per woman 15 years old and older. Okay, they can use only sometimes. All right, for every new one, and they can only be if they're in a pot, not on the long tube, the one that rolls, not that one, okay? Only if it's in a little small round container, cannot be square, rectangle as well. Round because the person can put their finger there and use on a lip, because the tube, have things in it, so we want to recycle all those items already, and have mixed of items in it. Sometimes it's plastic with a little different type of plastic, so everything that's hard to recycle, we want to already recycle, all right? So the tubes they can use are those that are round in plastic, one type of plastic only. They take the cap out, and use it. That's the only one approved. Okay? Yeah, up to 2. But, people that gonna get 1 because we don't need more than that. All right? And people can use in special days. That's fine. All right. Other improvement, it's for pre-made messages. We can have it for WhatsApp for people to share their family or someone, in their community having a birth or something. So we are going to have some that is tiny videos, very short videos, a few seconds up to a minute or so. And then some messages that are in a photo, some without words and some with words, for both of them, for videos and photos, with and without words. Okay? All right, so we can send sometimes to people in the groups we have. That's our family, and also everyone gonna have the friends group, right? Up to 20 friends, right? So we're gonna narrow down, and people will choose. Every 6 months they can change that. So every January and July they can renew their groups if they have other families that they want to change, but they cannot have more than 20 couples on their friends group. This is part of the handbooks number 2, but I'm already putting here, so it's ready. So volunteers, please already place them to the family handbooks. And for the family, people can have their parents, their married young adults, right? Sons and daughters of all ages, okay? They are not having nephews right? And nieces, because that's already part of another family, okay? But they can keep talking to their brothers and sisters, say hi, that's part of their family group as well, okay? All right, thank you so much. For the messages for WhatsApp that I said we can have tiny videos and some photos, we will make many of them in different ways, and no more can be made in any future year millennium, because some people, with time, we don't want anyone to be doing things that are not really positive or sustainable. So we're going to have many approved now, and the same way for books, music, until 2040. After that, none of those things, new things, will be made. All right? So, for example, a person that will be singing at the garden, they can sing, they can create a song with the sentences we already have. That's okay. But they cannot record and send to someone else, because then will be a new song. All right? But if they're just singing there, that would be okay. After 2040, people can only sing the authorized songs. They cannot even create anything on a garden, anything, because the time for creation is over. And if the person has a special song, book, story, right, to as a proposal for the organization to examine, they need to have good practices first. We are not sending a whole bunch of proposals right after the 28 weeks, because we're not going to receive that. So let's start. You can sing at the garden, practice first, make sure it's a good one, making improvements, and then you can apply. We are not receiving any new songs. We are receiving new songs. People can apply now during the 28 weeks. Songs, books, and the headquarter assistant teams of each county will examine, approve. The approved ones you send to state approved ones you send to the country, and their country will send to our headquarters. All right, my friend, thank you so much for your participation. Talk to you soon. Okay, the other thing is that for all blenders that will be going to the recycle centers, when the families will be taking them out from businesses and from their own homes, these are the only item that we're not going to cut the string if they are powerful, good blenders, because the very good ones will be used at the adult education centers for making soap, and also for high school students to make soap with them, with plant-based soap to bring home, okay? All right, so far as I remember, those are the ones. Also, if any computer, laptop show up at the recycle center from homes, they also will be properly covered and sent to adult education, because we are going to open many adult education in all countries, because all countries need to learn English and so on. So we're going to have many students registering now. All right. So laptops can be used now during these 28 weeks on the authorized locations, such as adult education. Okay, we are going to keep, that's another improvement, we are going to keep some local libraries, so people have something different to do on Saturday afternoon, okay, but not Sunday, because it's not a place for real fun, it's a more like inside place, so we can have some public libraries. The libraries, though, they will be much smaller, right? Because some are huge with many things that we don't use. So we're going to have only positive books. So they can have a division. They will be remodeled. And on the side of public libraries can be an adult education or a preschool or something that will be really useful according to the headquarters assistant teams for public library improvement. No, not public, sorry. For sites needed. So they will check everything that was empty out from, for example, buildings from fast food, libraries, cafes that don't want to become a restaurant, and so on. So they will check everything and they will state what everything can be and give options. But for preschools, it is mandatory to have the closest building that's available, of course, and also according to their basic structure, to have a preschool by residential communities to avoid people to get urban buses or to walk too much to reach those locations. Okay? All right, thank you. Made an improvement here, so a few things to be added for the release form. So we're not saying release chart, because chart gives the impression of something long with many information. So we're not using chart, we're just using form, because it's going to be simple, a half page for most clients, a half print size paper, and for those that really need more information, it's okay, can have a whole page. Okay, this chart also need the following: the facility name, I already said, the person in charge of the facility, the person in charge of the patient, because like for hospice, for assisting living, jails and everything, we need who were the people in charge. Okay, all right. And then how long the person has been there. So you're gonna put the date for everyone: hospice, jail, juvenile, everyone that you're releasing to go home. And then you're also gonna say set up for everything related to everyone, I guess. Yes, to everyone. Set up next doctor appointment in up to 4 business days for everyone that's leaving facilities related to health. Okay, not to juvenile, to jail, okay, but those related to health, hospice, nursing homes, okay, release that. Okay, also the other information is for people that will be from hospice, that they will be saying where they're going to be leaving from. All right, because some might be able to go home and catch up during these 28 weeks. All right, so everyone needs to have 4 originals of this form. One is kept by the last paper's documentation. No, sorry, just 2. Yeah, just 2 originals. Every one is 2 originals. One for the person itself, the patient, right? Or for the inmate leaving those facilities, and one to be kept at the city office. Okay, all right. Another improvement is the following: let's do everyone just to have a half page, because that will be the most sustainable and small to be kept at the city office. If anything extra is needed, will be printed on the back of this form and not a whole page and on the back empty, because not needed. But I think if the person writes small with 11, number 11 for the printing size, right? I think that will be plenty. And the title can be 14, number 14, because that's the adult that's picking up that person will be the one that will be reading. And also the medication given. You know, remember I said the person can have up to 4 or 8 weeks, mostly for painkillers, so people have time for transition and they will use the least as possible, okay? But medicine given, all right? Medicine given, that's very important, okay? All right, so I think it's good like that. Oh, sorry, one more thing. The person that pick up the patient, So who came? You're not going to release people to get urban buses. These people need a family or a friend, need someone, right, to pick them up properly. And one document of that person. One document. And you're going to write here what was the document. Document number or the person address. All right, so you're going to write here person's complete name, and the document the person provides, okay, and address, put it there, and address. All right, and the person have to sign, so you need the person to sign and date, sign and date, okay, because this way will be more organized, and everywhere the person will bring that paper until they have their registration, so we'll have all the information needed, okay. So the name of the medicine, all the information about the person picking up that elder or whoever. All right, for juvenile and jail, the same thing. It's important for us to know that a person is coming to pick them up. So for those that are authorized to go home in up to 2 weeks or after the 4 weeks, whichever I said there, they need a family member to pick them up. If they are leaving, so let's write over here. Here's a little. If they're leaving, because juvenile go straight home with family only, they are not taking urban buses to go any other place. They have to make a decision. Or they go home, because this I didn't say, or they can be adopted by some other family members. Not to be adopted in adoption center, we're not doing that. But if they have to go home. Yeah, up to 21 years old, they have to go home. Yeah, it's mandatory. And improve and help, participate and join, and they will have great classes and will renew life. All right, because their parents also have to renew life. Even that was very tough for them, the environment they were, if they were not abused sexually, as I said, if they were abused sexually, so they can go with someone else. Start with grandparents, aunts, not uncles, but aunts, they can do that, grandparents, and an older sibling that's already married. So they have these 3 options for people that were abused. So they won't be leaving their own parents, okay? And after that, if nothing is available, so they can go to a married friend, like someone they know, a couple that they know, they trust. And if the couple accepts, right, they can, if that couple, the youth, right, the teenager or young adult up to 20 years one, accept them. Okay, so they come and sign this release form, right? I just talked about. So they sign and they go. And then they go to proper court to do proper paperwork and explain the situation. And paperwork will be done. Because if they have a real bad background on their own family, if they don't, because some teens, they lie pretty well. So they need proof of that. Otherwise, they have to go home and there they will stay. All right. So these options here are only for the ones that were really abused sexually. All right. Okay. With proof, of course. Okay. Now, let's say a few words about adults leaving jail, the ones that are not very harmful. All right. For those that are leaving jail, if they're going back to the family, they need a family member there to pick them up, at least one family to sign the same form, okay? For the other ones that are not going back home because their husband or wife do not want them anymore, or because of any reason, because some are in jail for a long time, or all right, or moved, or whichever it is. So if they are not going back home, the people in charge of this facility need to already tell them where they can go and start a new life. All right? So they will be already filling up application for other singles, right, that might be in jail as well and that own jail, if they have someone they like or in a nearby jail. So that will be their base, when they put their name and put like that they were an inmate. So will be other people the same background. That's not bad. It's just for them to focus on things they need to renew life in all the ways and have good positive practice. All right? So, and then they will get together, these two siblings, that's up to 2 counties, let's say up to what? Up to 50 kilometers, right? Try to find someone nearby. Okay, nearby I think is the most sustainable, up to 50 kilometers from each other. So they get the couples together and they actually help. They bring the couple, as soon as they can be free according to their situation, they bring the couples, sign a paper, an agreement. I think that's good. Agreement. Find a house for them that's available, all those places that are being emptied out, and then they can live together. All right? And then they are going to see transportation, how they're going to meet and so on. Okay? And I think if they have the agreement, they have the bracelet anyways, right? They have to put the address, make sure that location still have a room for them, okay? And then they can get the urban buses and move. All right, so I think I explained everything now. Okay, so now let's just say a few words about children and teens. Okay, so let's say a few words for children that do not want to cooperate. So this is for children 6 years old and above. So children that really do not want to cooperate. So we have to wait for them to have 8 weeks at the new school, new real school, not the ones they're going to be transferred after. They're real school. They're stable. They know where they are. They know that they're real teacher and so on. And also wait for 8 weeks after the family gets registered. I think that's reasonable. Okay? So they will have a lot of time to know what PSEP points are, because we have to remember that we have people from many different families, many different neighborhoods. Some are real violent, people that speak bad words all the time, that curse, and people that do not have proper food, people that do not have proper hygiene. So they come from many different situations. When the family will be registered, that means they already have their own homes, with their proper documentation. They own a home, okay? And here, 8 weeks at school, I think is really reasonable. So they will know for sure that that's their house, that's their school, okay? And we'll have plenty of time to watch the videos, have classes for conversation, have also classes about lots of fun, right? PE, outside time, and so on. Okay, so then they will have, if they still do not cooperate, they have 2 days of fasting with their family. So family and school will not be giving them food. And then they have 2 more weeks, 2 more days fasting, 2 more weeks, 2 more days fasting. If they really do not want to cooperate after that no improvement has been shown, and then they go to the life renovation program. All right? Okay. So now we're going to say a few words about the teens. So here, for teens, will be done this way. So they have the same as above, okay? With one little exception here. So they have 8 weeks after their proper school. They're attending their own proper school that's nearby. Their own family already have registered and already own their homes, because that's for them to register, they need to own the home. Okay, So they're stable for 8 complete weeks. The same residential community, the same school, the same friends that are also improving, and so on. So the only difference that they're going to have 2 days. If they don't cooperate after that, they have 2 days of fasting and 2 more weeks. If they still don't cooperate, they're not going to have this other set of 2 more weeks and 2 days. They will have just one set of 2 days and 2 more weeks. Okay? And after that, if they don't want, they go straight to life renovation program. Because that's the only way, my friends. We are trying the best we can, but we need people to cooperate. It's very, very hard because I've been there. Very, very hard to be at schools with children and teens that do not want to do anything. They don't want to do their assignments. They don't want to read. They don't want to participate. They don't want to do anything. They just sit there. And then if we send them to the proper people in charge of the school, right, the dean's office or whichever it is, does not help even, does not help. So let's do this. I think that's sustainable. 8 weeks is really plenty of time for people to also have fun, enjoy life, have great moments with their families. No time to also cooperate at home, cooperate at school. This cooperation means home and school, cannot be just one of them, need to be for both. All right? Okay, thank you. Made an improvement here, so a few things to be added for the release form. So we're not saying release chart, because chart gives the impression of something long with many information. So we're not using chart, we're just using form, because it's going to be simple. A half page for most clients, a half print size paper, and for those that really need more information, it's okay, can have a whole page. Okay, this chart also need the following: the facility name, already said, the person in charge of the facility, the person in charge of the patient, because like for hospice, for assisting living, jails and everything, we need who were the people in charge. Okay, all right. And then how long the person has been there. So you're going to put the date for everyone: hospice, jail, juvenile, everyone that you're releasing to go home. And then you're also going to say set up for everything related to everyone, I guess. Yes, to everyone. Set up next doctor appointment in up to 4 business days for everyone that's leaving facilities related to health. Okay? Not to juvenile, to jail, okay? But those related to health. Hospice, nursing homes, okay? Release that. Okay. Also, the other information is for people that will be from hospice, that they will be saying where they're going to be leaving from. All right, because some might be able to go home and catch up during these 28 weeks. All right, so everyone needs to have 4 originals of this form. One is kept by the last paper's documentation. No, sorry, just 2. Yeah, just 2 originals. Everyone needs 2 originals. One for the person itself, the patient, right? Or for the inmate leaving those facilities, and one to be kept at the city office. Okay? All right, another improvement is the following. Let's do everyone just to have a half page, because that will be the most sustainable and small to be kept at the city office. If anything extra is needed, will be printed on the back of this form and not a whole page and on the back empty, because not needed. But I think if the person writes small with 11, number 11 for the printing size, right? I think that will be plenty. And the title can be 14, number 14, because that's the adult that's picking up that person will be the one that will be reading. And also the medication given. You know, remember I said the person can have up to 4 or 8 weeks, mostly for painkillers, so people have time for transition and they will use the least as possible, okay? But medicine given, all right? Medicine given, that's very important, okay? All right, so I think it's good like that. Oh, sorry, one more thing. The person that pick up the patient, you know, so who came? You're not going to release people to get urban buses. These people need a family or a friend, need someone, right, to pick them up properly. And one document of that person, one document. And you're going to write here what was the document number or the person address. All right, so you're going to write here person's complete name, and the document the person provides, okay, and address, put it there, and address. All right, and the person have to sign, so you need the person to sign and date, sign and date, okay, because this way will be more organized, and everywhere the person will bring that paper until they have their registration, so we'll have all the information needed, okay. So the name of the medicine, all the information about the person picking up that elder or whoever. All right, for juvenile and jail, the same thing. It's important for us to know that a person is coming to pick them up. So for those that are authorized to go home in up to 2 weeks or after the 4 weeks, whichever I said there, they need a family member to pick them up. If they are leaving, so let's write over here. Here's a little. If they're leaving, because juvenile go straight home with family only, they are not taking urban buses to go any other place. They have to make a decision. Or they go home, because this I didn't say, or they can be adopted by some other family members. Not to be adopted in adoption center, we're not doing that. But if they have to go home. Yeah, up to 21 years old, they have to go home. Yeah, it's mandatory. And improve and help, participate and join, and they will have great classes and will renew life. All right, because their parents also have to renew life. Even that was very tough for them, the environment they were, if they were not abused sexually, as I said, if they were abused sexually, so they can go with someone else. Start with grandparents, aunts, not uncles, but aunts, they can do that, grandparents, and an older sibling that's already married. So they have these 3 options for people that were abused. So they won't be leaving their own parents, okay? And after that, if nothing is available, so they can go to a married friend, like someone they know, a couple that they know, they trust. And if the couple accepts, right, they can, if that couple, the youth, right, the teenager or young adult up to 20 years one, accept them. Okay, so they come and sign this release form, right? I just talked about. So they sign and they go. And then they go to proper court to do proper paperwork and explain the situation. And paperwork will be done. Because if they have a real bad background on their own family, if they don't, because some teens, they lie pretty well. So they need proof of that. Otherwise, they have to go home and there they will stay. All right? So these options here are only for the ones that were really abused sexually. All right? Okay, with proof, of course. Okay, Now, let's say a few words about adults leaving jail, the ones that are not very harmful. All right, for those that are leaving jail, if they're going back to the family, they need a family member there to pick them up, at least one family to sign the same form, okay? For the other ones that are not going back home because their husband or wife do not want them anymore, or because of any reason, because some are in jail for a long time, or all right, or moved, or whichever it is. So if they are not going back home, the people in charge of this facility need to already tell them where they can go and start a new life. All right, so they will be already filling up application for other singles, right, that buy me in jail as well, and that own jail if they have someone they like, or in a nearby jail. So that will be their base, when they put their name and put like that they were an inmate. So will be other people the same background. That's not bad. It's just for them to focus on things they need to renew life in all the ways and have good positive practices. All right, so and then they will get together, these two siblings, that's up to 2 counties, let's say up to what, up to 50 kilometers, right? Try to find someone nearby. Okay, nearby I think is the most sustainable, up to 50 kilometers from each other. So they get the couples together and they actually help. They bring the couple, as soon as they can be free according to their situation, they bring the couples, sign a paper, an agreement. I think that's good. Agreement. Find a house for them that's available, all those places that are being emptied out, and then they can live together. All right, and then they are going to see transportation, how they're going to meet, and so on. Okay, and I think if they have the agreement, they have the bracelet anyways, right? They have to put the address, make sure that location still have a room for them, okay, and then they can get the urban buses and move. All right, so I think I explained everything now. Okay, so now let's just say a few words about children and teens. Okay, so let's say a few words for children that do not want to cooperate. So this is for children 6 years old and above. So children that really do not want to cooperate. So we have to wait for them to have 8 weeks at the new school, new real school, not the ones they're going to be transferred after. They're real school, they're stable, they know where they are, they know that they're real teacher and so on. And also wait for 8 weeks after the family gets registered. I think that's reasonable. Okay, so they will have a lot of time to know what peace app points are, because we have to remember that we have people from many different families, many different neighborhoods. Some are real violent people that speak bad words all the time, that curse, and people that do not have proper food, people that do not have proper hygiene. So they come from many different situations. When the family will be registered, that means they already have their own homes, with their proper documentation. They own a home, okay? And here, 8 weeks at school, I think is really reasonable. So it will know for sure that that's their house, that's their school, okay? And we'll have plenty of time to watch the videos, have classes for conversation, have also classes about lots of fun, right? PE, outside time, and so on. Okay, so then they will have, if they still do not cooperate, they have 2 days of fasting with their family. So family and school will not be giving them food. And then they have 2 more weeks 2 more days fasting, 2 more weeks, 2 more days fasting. If they really do not want to cooperate after that no improvement has been shown, and then they go to the life renovation program. All right? Okay. So now we're going to say a few words about the teens. So here, for teens, will be done this way. So they have the same as above, okay? With one little exception here. So they have 8 weeks after their proper school. They're attending their own proper school that's nearby. Their own family already have registered and already own their homes, because that's for them to register, they need to own the home. Okay, so they're stable for 8 complete weeks. The same residential community, the same school, the same friends that are also improving, and so on. So the only difference that they're going to have 2 days. If they don't cooperate after that, they have 2 days of fasting and 2 more weeks. If they still don't cooperate, they're not going to have this other set of 2 more weeks and 2 days. They will have just one set of 2 days and 2 more weeks. Okay? And after that, if they don't want, they go straight to life renovation program. Because that's the only way, my friends. You know, we are trying the best we can, but we need people to cooperate. It's very, very hard, because I've been there. Very, very hard to be at schools with children and teens that do not want to do anything. They don't want to do their assignments, they don't want to read, they don't want to participate, they don't want to do anything. They just sit there. And then if we send them to the proper people in charge of the school, right, the dean's office or whichever it is, does not help even, does not help. So let's do this. I think that's sustainable. 8 weeks is really plenty of time for people to also have fun, enjoy life, have great moments with their families. No time to also cooperate at home, cooperate at school. This cooperation means home and school, cannot be just one of them, need to be for both. All right? Okay, thank you. So we have some improvements here. So for teens, all right, let's start with children. Children, they have 2 places, home and school. All right, cooperate at home, cooperate at school. As I just said, they have to study and participate. All right, for teens is 3 things. If they are 15 years old and older, so it is school, work 2 times a week, only 2 times a week with their parents, right? 15 years old and older, and home. So they have these 3 places. All right, for the adults, there are 4 places. It is home, and then they have the university or adult education, right? Education, and then they have the community, right? And they have also their work, right? Community, it's where they live, all right? Where they live. If they're cooperating, being, a department director, assistant, they have to choose a department they're going to be helping the most. Okay, even that, everyone going to work in the gardens, but there's one specific one that is needed the most, for them to join. And then they have their work. Work, we are not going to have salary, but we are going to have points. All these 4 things, we have points every week, and all of them gonna have all the things they have to check for their points. Some are daily, okay, and some are weekly. At their family meeting, they're gonna check out the weekly ones, all right? And it's very important for them to be checking. So it's all according to the PSAP points. The only difference, so everything else will be the same as above, as the teens, but the only difference that adults here, because teens is up to 19, right? Up to 19 years old. And here it's 20 years old and above, all the adults on this age. And if they don't want to cooperate, they don't have they have 2 days. They do not have the 2 days fasting and 2 more weeks to think. All right, because their doubts, they have to improve already and get it done. All right? Okay, I think that's reasonable. Okay, 8 weeks. They have plenty of time to have stability. I might change for 4 weeks because there are doubts. Yeah, I think let's do 4 weeks instead of 8. Yes, and we can keep 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks, not 8 anymore. Okay, so everything else will be 8 weeks and nothing else. No fasting, no 2 days of fasting, no 2 extra weeks, nothing extra. Okay, all right. So also, if they're cooperating with their tests, with their doctor checkup, all these things that they have to do, go to the dentist, this is for their home checkups, part of their health. Okay, and for the elders, they have to, and people that are sick in one way or another, not so healthy yet, they have to be improving, okay? So they can continue getting their points. That's what it means, all right? They have to cooperate, and that's what it means. All right, thank you so much. Talk to you soon. It's not turning off. I'm so... I just have one more thing that I remember now. It's about the people that are living in jail, and they're the danger ones, right? So they're going to faraway places. They might need a bus, a train, or an airplane. So it's important to bring a whole group. All right, if it's a bus, the bus is going to be driving, dropping off people along the cities, for example. Okay, that is on the line that's set up, that's a semi-arid or desert land. Desert land is not in the middle of the desert, it's not that. It's closer as possible to a desert where they're going to be planted and renewing life, right? Because we need to cover up the whole earth anyways, okay? They're going to live close by in the most appropriate area on that residential community, or rural area that's established. Okay, so they can take the train, and the train will be dropping them off, and from that point on they will take buses, urban buses, to bring to their proper location, or they can take airplanes, all right, or even some boats while they are available, in the weeks they're available. Okay, so as soon as they get to that location, it's very important for them to contact back the people, their own city office, because jails might be already closed, who knows, right? Hopefully. So they have to contact their city office and send proper paperwork of arrival. So with all the information, where they arrived, they start working, they got their on homes and basic information like that. So will be an arrival chart. Okay, I think that's very important. So they are already established, at the city office, make sure they already arrived there. Okay, so remember the release form, so gonna be something similar to that with all details, but instead of release form will be arrival form. Okay, and the same name, the same way. Here won't be a facility name, but where they're working, where they're studying, where they're living. Okay, so all these details will be sent to the people in charge. And the other thing they can do is to have the name of the department director of security. Yes, gonna receive them. Shake hands, welcome, strong voice, for them to be working together. I think that's the most appropriate. So they will already know each other, okay? And yes, I think that's the most appropriate, okay? Because they have to work, they have to plan. Or the Department of Community Gardens and Agroforestry. Yeah, I think that is more convenient. Okay, I'm gonna let you know afterwards which two, maybe both of them, both couples. Yes, I think that's the best. Okay, so it's an improvement, it's decided. So when they go to the assigned location, being a private bus, right, that will be dropping them off, it's if depending on the area they are, or a train or a bus, maybe one bus pick up everyone and bring to a train station or brings to an airport, right? People that are assigned to go to different locations, so that's okay. Also, for those that can still have, no, they're not having own child, because they already have some situations life. If they have enough points, they can have teens, no children. I think I don't know if they can have children teens yet. I'm gonna let you know afterwards. But let's just talk about their arrival in a new place. So they will be taking bus, train, small boats, or airplanes. Okay, what they can do if they're single in one country and did not have another partner yet, it's okay. They can get married with another couple. No, sorry. They have to leave their own country with a couple, okay, and be separated as soon as possible. They won't have children because there's plenty to adopt. If they have enough points to adopt, they're gonna adopt teens, right? Those dangerous people, because they're more capable, more stronger. All right? Okay, I think we're doing great. Yes, everyone from jail needs to leave their own country with a spouse. An agreement that they're gonna marry as soon as they get out of jail. They make the agreement. They can even be from different jails, but they make an agreement before they're released. They sign in blue pen and everything. They have the release form. Okay, and they will have up to 4 business days to get married on a proper city office. Okay, I think we're doing right. Okay, all right, and then because if they're really dangerous, I think it's better don't give any. Teens can renew life though. I'm going to let you know if they can adopt teens or not. Okay? All right. Depending on what they did and how they are, and how fast all this is going to work, because
okay, my friends, so here the basic information how we will renew all these
right, because
businesses
they're going to be kept,
and public
the dangerous
areas,
ones
right,
cannot
and government
have
sites.
children or teens, because all
For
of
everything
them
that's not listed here, people already have an idea,
they can take care of
and will
themselves
be listed
and
at the organization launching day. Okay.
And get
Okay, so in review, the items that we saw today, number 1, health, number 2, security, number 3, adoption centers, foster home, number 4, transportation, number 5, gyms, number 6, educational sites, and then we have here number 7, it's all stores. Number 8, it's official sites, banks, financial, right? Large areas, offices. And then number 9, I repeat, is the educational site, but we don't need anymore. And then was already said. And number 10, government site. So all this already placed on this packet, okay, with these 2 videos, part 1 and part 2. Thank you so much for your cooperation, and we are going to have our edited handbooks at our website soon as we launch our organization. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much.